Welcome to Ponytails and Pep Talks, the podcast where blowouts, breakdowns, and breakthroughs are a weekly discussion. I'm your host, ReJeania. For over 3 decades, I've been behind the salon chair as a stylist, an owner, and yes, your favorite unlicensed therapist. I have heard it all. The tears, the triumphs, the you won't believe what just happened stories from courageous women overcoming incredible obstacles. So let's meet one of them right now on Ponytails and Pep Talks.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me on Ponytails and Pep Talks. Today, I have a very special guest sitting in my salon chair. Not only is she a very talented makeup artist and hairstylist, she has worked New York Fashion Week many times and incredible other places that she will tell us about. I am proud to introduce you to my daughter. Tell us your name and what brought you to this industry and how long you've been doing it.
Alicia, as you know, I am ReJeania's daughter. And I've been doing hair and makeup for 18 years now, makeup for 18 and hair for about 6. And I guess what brought me to this industry was my mother, because I watched her run her own salon and her own business and watched the passion that happened between her and the clients and how much love it brought, and it inspired me to do the same.
Awesome. Well, of course, as a child, what's the thing that we saw come out obviously is creativity. You drew on the walls, you drew on your mattress, you drew in your books, you drew every place around you became your canvas. So I knew that you would definitely be walking into something creative. So let's talk about New York, which you were always very excited, getting ready to go and packing up everything. What was your experiences while you're at the Fashion Week?
So, first time to New York was definitely not what I pictured it to be. Everything was
Yes.
very together, very small, lots of buildings. Very exciting though. Fashion Week, what I heard before I went was either you love it or you hate it. I still do stand
Yes.
theory. If you are someone that thrives on adrenaline, you will love it. If you are someone that gets stressed easily, you will absolutely hate it. It is chaotic backstage, and there are people running all different directions and models coming from other shows. And sometimes they are like, all right, you start off with all these hours to get hair and makeup done, and then all of a sudden models running and you've got about an hour to do hair and makeup. So sometimes you are taking your makeup and running to the hair side or vice versa and making sure everyone is ready to go. Thankfully it was definitely something that I thrived with and I enjoyed.
So were there any just crazy mishaps? Like you're like, oh God, we've got 20 minutes to get this done and her hair's falling, makeup is sweating off their face. Were there any times you just kind of went crazy trying to get somebody together before they walked out on the stage?
Not necessarily crazy as far as that aspect, but there are definitely times where, sometimes there's shows where the models go from show to show. So there might be one that's running late and she's got, a whole face of makeup on, and the show we're doing that day is supernatural. And we've got to get her makeup off and then put some new supernatural on and get it changed within like 5 minutes. So at that point, we're tag teaming with hair and makeup, and one of us is doing a eyeliner while the other of us is doing a lip, and we're just trying to get them on time out the door.
I bet. How many years did you end up getting to go just to New York?
Probably about 13 or 14 years I've been going to Fashion Week for New York.
Wow, that's really incredible. At some point, there came an abrupt end to being able to go to the New York Week fashion show. What happened to cause that?
So when I first started going to Fashion Week, it was through the salon, and then after that, it was with the Aveda team, and then Aveda decided to discontinue their makeup line. So discontinued a lot of it. A couple of pieces are there. They're not as into Fashion Week as they were before, but since now I've been doing hair, the last few years I've actually been doing hair at Fashion Week instead of makeup. So I probably did about 13 years with makeup and the last 3 years doing hair, which has been completely different, but also fun as well.
I bet. So along the way in there was COVID. So what happened during COVID? Were you go back when you wanted to? How long did that shut down before you were able to go back?
Well, thankfully, since we are in the service industry, they didn't close us down too much. Basically, that was during the time I had went back to get my cosmetology license. So I had
Okay.
been doing makeup for about what I don't 15 years maybe or 13 years, and then went back to get my cosmetology license because during all the makeup that I had been doing fashion week and all the photo shoots, I had also been helping with a lot of hair. I kind of was just to the point where, well, what else now? And it was kind of obvious I might as well do hair as well. So I went back to school and got my cosmetology license so I could begin to do hair as well and have two things under my belt and keep expanding my resume. So during COVID, I had just graduated school, but I'd only been on the floor for about 4 months and when COVID happened. So, we had 3 or 4 months there that we were out and then it picked right back up. We were wearing masks and everything. So it did take a while to get everything kind of back into sort, but then everything kind of picked back up again as far as fashion weeks. And it was a little different because it
hmm
had been sold out. So a little different things changed as far as that, but it still continued about a year after.
So I really always have to giggle whenever you talk about doing hair. I have so many of my clients that watched you in the salon growing up. And one in particular would always ask you, "So, are you going to do hair like your mom?" And you would always tell her, "No way, I won't do anything like my mom." So every young girl says also. So do you think back at that and say, "Oh my gosh, I didn't think I would ever do this, but now I'm doing it and I love it"?
Yeah, I kind of laugh at it now because I
Yeah.
think, when every when your clients had said that to me before, I think
Yeah.
a real reason being younger was like, "Oh no," because with makeup they can just wash their face off, but with hair, it's permanent. Like if I really mess it up, I really mess it up. And so I think that probably kind of
Exactly.
also I was young, so I wanted to be different. I didn't want to follow in footsteps and
Exactly.
own identity. So for me, I feel like makeup was kind of that. As I painted, as you said before, I painted on the walls and drew on my bed and stuff. So for me, I really drew towards makeup because it was more artistic and kind of
Yes.
a painting type way, which was something I always loved to do. And again, and I could wash it off people's faces and redo it. And then further down the line, the further I got into my career with makeup, fashion weeks and photo shoots and training salons and everything I was doing and teaching, hair just ended up being incorporated and became a part of it. And it just got
Right.
to the point where I was like, well, gosh, I might as well do this too.
Exactly. So what other places did you get to go that was very exciting for you? What did you learn in those places?
So on top of New York Fashion Week, I've also done Seattle Fashion Week, Bellevue Fashion Week, Vancouver Fashion Week, and Nashville Fashion Week. And some of those I actually got to lead. So that was pretty cool. The Seattle ones I did get to lead, and we did a bunch of shows for that one. And then recently, the last couple of years, I've got to do a show called Noise. And that one's basically like the top 6 hairdressers in the world, and they get to come together, and
Yeah.
there's rules, and they just go for it and do whatever. And I got to work with a team with that, and that was really amazing. And then I've also got to do some hairstyling award shows along the way, and we get to be super creative, whatever we want to do. And we've done a lot of crazy images. We spend 14 hours a night working on everything and do the show, and I love it because it's just such a creative outlet for me and a way to just keep myself in that creative moment and keep growing.
Exactly. So, are there some famous people in the industry that you've worked with? And have you worked on any famous people we might know? Or are
Um,
there ones you would like to work with?
as far as famous people working with them, there has been times where I've been backstage where we did some different shows for Fashion Week where we had Victoria's Secret models back there. We
hmm
have male models back there. They've been around the area, not necessarily that I personally worked on them. If it was
Yes.
someone I could personally work on, if it doesn't matter if they're alive or not, Audrey Hepburn, someone I would have
Yes.
on. She is one of my.
Yes, always your favorite.
Not only that,
Yes.
knowing her story, I did a paper on her in high school, and knowing her background of how, she survived through the war and her parents, she wanted to dance and she wanted to be on stage. And she started that when she was at a young age. And then the war came and her parents had to hide her in an attic. And through that time she was in and barely getting to eat, she still danced and did what she loved. And whenever the war was over and she went out, she kind of changed the industry as far as her look and, what that represented. And so for me, I look up to her as far as things that she's been able to overcome and the person that she came out to be. After she got done with her career, they created a museum about her and everything with her belongings and her history. She basically she gave back to the community a lot. So she would do a lot of charity work and she would go to other countries and she would help them. And she was just such a kind and giving person, especially with everything that she had been through. And so I think, if I could go back in time, that would be someone I would love.
Yeah, I did not know that about her. I know she's always been a passion of yours that you really liked and enjoyed and have followed, but I had not actually heard all those things about her. So, what do you see now for yourself? You've been doing this a long time now. What are your goals in the next 3 to 5 years?
Well, saying that, I think, as you know, when I was younger, I was like, I'm going to be a famous makeup artist in New York and I'm doing all these things. And then I went to New York and I did all the things. Right now, I think I'm just in a place where wherever God leads me. I mean, I can't predict the next 3 to 5 years. I just hope that they are full of passion and love and growth and that I'm where I'm supposed to be. And I'm just letting God guide me on what my path is.
Exactly. Perfectly said. Now, did you have some pictures for us?
I did,
You
yes.
Okay, so what pictures? Tell us a little bit about the pictures that you have.
Okay, so some of the pictures I put were from different shows that we had done, the hair award shows, the noise shows, and a couple
Okay.
clients in the salon. So I try to do a little bit of a mix of hair and makeup. When we did the hair shows, I assisted and helped with hair, went on stage with hair, but background, I was doing all the makeup as well.
Yes. Okay. So, what about another young woman coming up that is saying, "Oh, I want to do makeup"? You went through a process before you obviously got to where you are now. What encouragement would you give them? Where would you tell them to start? Where would you tell them to dream at?
As far as makeup or hair.
Either one,
Okay.
depending on what they wanted.
So when I grew up in the makeup world, there wasn't YouTube makeup artists.
Right.
So I would say that I would recommend going, to the library or back to old books and reading trends on makeup from, 1920s to 2025. And I say that because what I have recognized or noticed from doing fashion weeks or doing photo shoots, when we do have other people come in that maybe are a new team to us or maybe newcomers that are going to fashion week, usually their knowledge comes from watching YouTubers. And those YouTubers are doing makeup on themselves only and no one else.
Yes.
And they don't have the knowledge that someone normally has that's worked behind a screen or works behind, a photo shoot or a fashion week. So a lot of their looks are the same. So it's very easy to spot if someone's only been trained off of a YouTube video. A lot of the
Right.
time, but fashion week is it's about the clothes. At the end of the day, it's about the clothes. So as far as hair and makeup, it's very simple. It's very
Hmm.
slicked back, very simple looks. Makeup, it's usually very natural. The only time we're getting really creative is when we do our own shows. So if you go in there only knowing like a YouTube type version of how makeup is applied, you're going to be very lost and confused. And a lot of times someone's going to come up to you and they're going to take over the look for you. So I would just recommend doing other classes, working on natural looks. Beauty looks is what will get you further in the
Hmm.
industry. Makeup. Whereas hair is concerned, one thing I will say that I was told that I didn't really take to heart in beauty school was great hairdressers are great sectioners. And my boss
True.
tells me that all the time, and I've heard him say it 1,000 times. And when I really got into precision cutting was when I repeated that in my head about 1,000 times and really realized how important it was. So as far as
So explain that, what that means, because everybody's like sectioner. I don't know. So explain what you're meaning by that.
So just sectioning the hair in general,
Okay.
going down the middle part, side part, whichever way they part, whatever kind of look you're doing, if you're doing an
Hmm.
angled bob, how far the angle is, making sure both sides are even.
Yeah.
If something really precise, making sure what side of the comb you're using and when, where the head's tilted. There's a lot of things that really matter as far as your sectioning the side of your comb and your precision. So that's
Right.
the better you are at doing that, the better your haircut will be. And that's one thing that I always continue to go back to.
Absolutely. So you talked about the new YouTube videos and things that girls are watching and learning from, and how important it would be if they really want to do this to look at different videos and things on a more professional level. Now, at one time you were considering doing some of that. Have you thought about that again? Do you want to make those professional videos to put out there for young girls coming up?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's something that I have considered before. I just have to
Yes.
kind of plan it out, but it's not off the table yet.
Okay, perfect. Yes. So, what is your favorite thing to do in the salon? What's your favorite thing to do if you're at Fashion Week?
Ooh. Well, Fashion Week, we don't really get to decide what we do. It is up to
Okay.
the designer.
Okay.
Usually, the makeup artist and the lead hair person will meet with the designer. They go over the look.
Okay.
They let them know ideas. They send them the books of what the clothes are going to look like and the designs, and then the makeup artist and the hair lead will meet with the designer. And then from there, they will create a look that best fits that designer's image. And then when we get to Fashion Week, then we will get rest of the team will get told what the look will be. And
Perfect. Well, it's getting to be Halloween, and I've seen some of your incredibly amazing Halloween looks that you do and that you've done them on yourself. If someone comes into the salon for you to do their makeup, are there all the salons that they can come in or makeup artists that they could go to get makeup done for Halloween? Is that something you recommend?
I love doing Halloween makeup. It's definitely a huge
Yeah.
outlet for me. I also love
Mhm.
it challenges me because it's not something I do daily. Like
Yes.
as far as makeup, it's brides, it's quinceañeras, it's photo shoots, it's fashion weeks. Like I said before, when we get to do the hair award shows, then we're really pushing ourselves creatively. But with Halloween makeup, you're also dealing with prosthetics and blood and all the fun stuff. So
The fun stuff.
it's the one day that I will get up 3 hours before work and do my makeup. So
Exactly.
I do love completely doing I love doing it. But yes, anyone that wants to book with me can for Halloween day, and I just have them let me know what look they want to do and we can go over it together and then we'll execute a day of.
Absolutely. Well, if there's anything else you would like to let the people know, or a dream that you have eventually you would like to do, like is there a place you've never been that you would like to go to do makeup or hair?
Well, I would like to do Paris Fashion Week. I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah,
I haven't done that one yet, so that would be a fun one to do. Traveling to Italy would be a fun thing I'd like to do also, but um
right. Which we've
that
talked about.
Ye yes, we're gonna do it, it's gonna be planned.
I know that's what you want for your next birthday is a trip to Italy, and we just had happen.
Like 40, but, we'll get there.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, I definitely want to thank you for, being on here with me. I absolutely have enjoyed watching you grow up, behind me in this industry, and many, many ways you have completely outgrown me, which is what you want your children to do. I think you do amazing, amazing work. And I show your work off to my clients and my friends and my people, anybody that'll listen to me or let me show them the pictures. I tell them I don't have baby pictures anymore, but I have very proud mama pictures of what my daughter does. So just want you to know I'm so proud of you and I love you so much. And thank you for being on my show today.
Of course, thank you, mother.
You're welcome. So, a few things we can take away today is for my bobby pin notes today follow your passion. If it's something you're passionate about, you're going to do very well at it. always know you're going to start small, even if it's with an eyebrow pencil in your bathroom, and makeup artistry is where you want to go. And just be you. That's the main thing. Whatever it is you want to do in life, whatever creativity you want to do or be, just be you, because the world just needs people like you.